All right, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. So let's talk the World Boxing Super Series Tournament Finals in the Cruiserweight Division Season 2 between Unier Dorticos and Briedis. Okay. Um, Great fight, great matchup finally because this season has sucked. The season is just not nearly as good as the first season. The first season was a classic. And, I think you guys know I've covered this World Boxing Super Series tournament now. I've said it here on the channel. I think it's like the purest form of boxing right now to have these tournaments. Unfortunately, we're not getting it enough in more the more popular divisions. We got it in cruiserweight, and I think what I do believe that this tournament has shined the light on the cruiserweight division. It's getting people to follow it more. Especially Americans. It was many years where people kind of fell off paying attention to the cruiserweight division. It's one of the bigger divisions, the heavier divisions that a lot of people wasn't really paying attention to. So I love that this tournament has kind of brought more attention to that weight division. All right. But the first season was great. Better fighters, better matchups, just better fights. Not much controversy. It was great. Usyk won the first tournament, went up to heavyweight. All right, had his first fight up there. Is going to be fighting for a title pretty soon. All right, so he's doing his thing up at heavyweight. Gassiev went up to heavyweight. Don't know what's really going on. If you guys have an update on Gassiev, let me know in the comments. Yuri Gassiev moved up. The last thing I heard from him is he was supposed to fight Joey Dawejko at one point, and then he suffered some. The last news I heard, he suffered some type of injury, and he still hasn't fought at heavyweight or hasn't fought at all since he lost to Usyk in the finals back in 2018. Okay, so it's like been a year and a half since this guy fought. If anybody knows what's going on with this dude, let me know in the comments. All right. But anyway, the first tournament was great. Briedis lost in semifinals against Usyk in a fight that was very close. Definitely Usyk's toughest fight. Could have been scored either way. Could have been a draw. But they gave a slight decision to Usyk. All right, and then you had Dorticos, who lost against Gassiev. Gassiev stopped him late, I believe. Or I haven't seen a fight. I don't know if it went to decision. I think he stopped him very late. Where Gassiev just took the punishment. Kept that high guard really tight. Let Dorticos burn himself out, and it went for the kill later in the other half of the fight. And these guys both lost, but these two are definitely clearly the best two cruiserweights right now, being that Usyk and Gassiev is out of the picture. These two are the two best. Unfortunately, this season has been pretty shitty because of all the controversy on what's his name? Briedis is in. All right. Briedis, I don't think he lost. I don't think he won the first fight against McKellian. All right. Nowhere McKellian. That fight was a clear win to me from McKellian. I mean, I think I gave Briedis 3 or 4 rounds. Okay, he was just off that night, and it's not a diss to him. I think he's a great fighter, but that was the worst I've ever seen him. And I remember I made a video talking about this, and I think somebody said in the comments, he was just coming off surgery, so I don't think he was really. The person that left the comment said that maybe he wasn't really himself. All right, and that's understandable, but he clearly lost a fight to me. I mean, regardless of what he's done, I know he stopped Glowacki and everything, and there was more controversy in that fight. I'll get to that. But regardless, he lost the fight. Pretty clear, and I thought it was unfair. And, being that this fight with Dorticos is going to be in his hometown, he's going to be out in Latvia. Uh, if the fight does go to a decision and it's a debatable fight, or if a close competitive fight, which I think it will be, he's probably going to get the nod. But you can't really go by that neither because I believe the Usyk fight was in Latvia. And I also believe that the fight against McKellian was here in America. All right, so you can't really base it on that. You know what I'm saying? They're probably going to do the right thing, but you never know. This is boxing, So I don't want to just base it on that because people get robbed in all kind of places around the world in different locations with different judges, whatever. But yo, but I understand why it would be in Latvia because the World Boxing Super Series have trouble filling those seats, and being at Briedis, based on my experience and doing videos on him, he has a huge fan base out there. A few of the subscribers have told me that they're big fans of him because they're from out there, and a few of them will leave comments in my videos sometimes when I'm doing videos on the cruiserweight division. Cool. So I understand if it's not going to be in America because they're probably not going to sell. But anyway, so it was a lot of controversy with that, and then going into the second fight, the second round, the semifinals with Glowacki, all right, which was a highly anticipated fight. I did a video live on here on that fight. A lot of drama behind that. You know, Glowacki hits him in the back of the head. Briedis hits him with a nasty elbow to the face, and it was a bad elbow. Okay, totally uncalled for, totally dirty. I know you don't want to get hit in the back of your head, but you shouldn't be throwing elbows like that. You know, hard elbows like that. It was ugly. But he's boxing with Glowacki. He hurts Glowacki. He puts him down. Chris Bird, I don't know. He was in La La Land. The bell rings. Glowacki is trying to recover. He's in the ring still fighting. He lets the fight continue. Briedis knocks him down again. Bird does another 8 count, a 10 count. It was just ridiculous. And somebody had to jump in the ring and tell them that the round was over. They was fighting for like a good 30 seconds after the fight. As far as I remember, it was craziness. I never see anything like that. Like Bird was just out of commission that day. I don't know what happened. He's a great referee, but that night he was just totally off. All right, and then Briedis ended up stopping Glowacki in the following round. Okay, listen. No matter, regardless of how the fight was going, regardless of who we felt was winning the fight, who we predicted to win the fight, to be fair, the man Glowacki he deserved time to recover. And when I say that is he deserved time to recover in between the rounds. He didn't get that. He got knocked down a whole second time in the same round, way after the bell had already rung. So it was very unfair to him. He needed time to recover. He gets stopped in the third round, and that was that. It should be a no contest, but based on what they said, that they're going to order a fight between them if he is to win the tournament. If Briedis wins the tournament, they're going to order a rematch between them. Or is Glowacki probably is going to have a shot at the title against Dorticos if Dorticos wins. I don't know how that's going to go. But I definitely want to see a rematch because even though, Briedis was definitely hurting Glowacki and everything, he, deserved his fair shake. All right. So let's talk about this fight. And this is not going to be a full breakdown because I want to go back and watch these guys' fights again and be able to study and give you a really thorough breakdown because it's well deserved. This is a great fight. Dorticos, we know what he comes with. I didn't get to speak about him. He fought Masterneck in the first round, which was a very competitive fight. It was a good fight, but I thought he won. Solid win. And then he fought Andrew Tabiti, which ended up being a shit fight because Tabiti was holding the whole time. In fact, he got a point taken from him for holding, but he ended up stopping Tabiti. Tabiti was just fighting too fearful. There's very few moments in a fight where he actually let his hands go, and he ended up getting knocked out by Dorticos sometime in the second half of that fight. All right, so he picked up good wins, good fighters. Not better than the guys in the first tournament, but good fighters, good fighters. And Dorticos, we know what his game plan is. He has a great 1-2. He's a great 1-2. Has a lot of power behind a right hand. His KO ratio is insane. He's a knockout artist, legit. Big right hand. Follows it up behind the jab. That's all. That's his whole game. He's a 1-2 fighter. He has a great 1-2 and a lot of power behind that right hand. Since his loss to Gassiev, and Gassiev really exposed him in that fight because it really showed that Dorticos didn't really have anything outside of the 1-2, and Gassiev, a big strong guy at cruiserweight, kept that high guard really tight, and Dorticos couldn't really punch through it that well. And it just really showed. It exposed him. Now, since that fight, I want to say that the I haven't seen much improvement with Dorticos. I've seen that he goes to the body a lot more. You know, he'll throw that 1-2 to the body now. He throw right hand to the body now, which is good. So I think he does need a lot more variety in his punches. And I've seen it. But he's great at what he does, but he's very limited. He's very limited. You know, he's not a great defensive fighter. He's not super athletic, super fast, or anything like that. He's not a crazy counter puncher. You know, he's not going to be stepping around Briedis or anything like that. He's basic, but he's great at what he does, and he has a lot of power behind him right hand. Briedis, on the other hand, is the opposite. You know, he has power in his both hands. He probably doesn't punch as hard as Dorticos, but he has good knockout power as well, but in both hands. All right, he's more of a technician. You know, his timing, his counter punching ability, his combinations, his ability to step in and out and stepping around his opponent, good footwork. Uh, he's just overall, I think he's a more athletic fighter. I think he's a better defensive fighter. I think he's just overall more well-rounded than Dorticos is. All right, it doesn't mean that he's gonna win this fight. It just means that he brings more to the table than Dorticos, including power as well. I mean, this is a guy that went up to heavyweight and knocked out Manuel Chaw. All right, so uh, Briedis is no joke, you know. And if I had to pick someone today, if I just give you a prediction, I would lean a little bit more towards Briedis. I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm leaning a little bit towards Briedis just because he brings more to the table. You know, if Dorticos is not really capable of hurting Briedis, I think Briedis is going to outbox him, all right, and possibly hurt him and stop him late, similar to what Garcia did. But with all that being said, just because Dorticos is the man with the power, um, Briedis is more of a technician. Don't get it twisted. Briedis does let his hands go. All right, you seen that in the Glowacki fight. He brought the fight to Glowacki, and there will probably be moments in this fight where he may do the same against Dorticos because Dorticos has been hurt before. He's been stopped before, and you know if Briedis brings a fight towards him, I wouldn't be surprised if Dorticos gets stopped too. But Dorticos has that big right hand. He can definitely hurt Briedis because Dorticos might be the biggest puncher or one of the biggest punchers that Briedis ever faced. All right. So, you know, this is a great matchup. Both fighters are dangerous. Uh, I'm leaning a little bit towards Briedis for now, but I do want to do a more thorough breakdown of the actual fight as we get closer to the fight because I want to go back and look at their fights and go over these fights and see, you know, a little, you know, like I would normally do. I mean, I think this is a well warranted fight, and this is a fight that I feel that is deserving of a full breakdown because I love these World Boxing Super Series fights, you know, especially at cruiserweight. Cruiser, 140, 118 have been great to me in the boxing world when it comes to these World Boxing Super Series tournaments, all right? And I would hope that at some point we can get more tournaments from other divisions like 147, like 154, like light heavy, you know, like 126, 135, everything. All right. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. My first thoughts. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe. Peace.